Today we'll start the revision of second chapter, acid, base and salt. The first part, you have learned the definitions of acids and bases. What are the definition of acids and base? Acids means, acids definition. Yuvika?
Um, when um, when a compound dissolves in water, if it breaks down to dissociate into H plus ions, it's called an acid.
It dissociates to form H plus ions. If any substance is dissolved in water, if it is dissociates to form H plus ions, then such substances are called as acids. Okay. And what are bases, Vismay?
Substances that dissociate to form OH minus ion.
When they will
When
dissociate?
with water.
When they will dissociate?
When they react with water.
React with water. Are they reacting with water?
When they're dissolved in water.
Dissolved in water.
Yeah.
And that is a physical process. So the substances which when dissolved in water dissociates to form OH minus ions. So such substances we call as bases. So write down the definitions of acids and base.
Ma'am,
Yes,
are you sharing the screen?
yes.
I'm not able to see.
Others, are you able to see?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so you have to log off and log in again.
Okay, ma'am.
Leave the meeting and join again. Others, write down the definition of acids and base. First acid definition and write the examples of acids. Examples of acids are
Hydrochloric.
HCl,
hydrochloric acid, then
H2SO4,
H2SO4, acids,
H2CO3, hydrogen carbonate.
H2SO4 and HNO3. So these are strong acids. These will come under the strong acids. Then the next one is H2CO3, H3PO4. These will come under weak inorganic acids. Inorganic acids which are weaker. And then the other ones,
citric acid,
citric acid, okay,
tartaric acid,
tartaric acid,
Formic acid.
lactic acid,
Formic acid.
formic acid,
Acetic acid.
Ethanoic acid.
Malic acid.
and acetic acid, both are same. Acetic acid, ethanoic acid, both are same. Malic acid, right, Lisha?
oxalic acid,
Oxalic acid, right?
Ma'am, formalic acid.
Which one?
Ma'am, formalic acid.
Formalic, nothing is there with that.
Ma'am, the one that's there in antin at
That is
least.
formic.
Oh, sorry, formic acid.
Formic acid, that is methanoic acid, both are same. Methanoic acid. that is formic acid. So these are all organic acids which are weaker. These are all organic acids which are weak acids. Okay. Citric acid and acetic acid are mild acids. Their pH value is 2 to 2.4 till 3. So these are weaker mild acids. Okay, so these are acids. When dissolved in water, they dissociate to form H plus ions. So those are called acids. Bases, examples of bases. In bases, what are the things you can consider as examples?
Sodium hydroxide.
Sodium
carbonate.
hydroxide,
Calcium
potassium
hydroxide.
hydroxide, calcium
Sodium
hydroxide.
sulfate.
No, sodium sulfate is not base. So these four are also called as alkalis. Alkali, that is bases which are soluble in water and form hydroxide after dissolving into water. So these are called alkalis and strong acids. The remaining ones are weaker acids. So all metal oxides. You can take example as base. Then metal carbonates. Metal hydrogen carbonates. Hydrocarbonates or hydrogen carbonates, or you can consider as bicarbonates. These are all basic in nature. Even one of them exception, that is NH4OH, ammonium hydroxide, which is prepared from non-metal, but yet it is basic because it is prepared when NH3, ammonia gas, it is neutral, but when it dissolved in water, it forms NH4OH, ammonium hydroxide, and this again dissociates to form NH4 plus OH minus. So due to formation of OH minus ions, NH3 is considered as base, and this is maximum time asked question because it is unusual question. So but it is asked many times. So write down that answer properly. And your school's favorite this question. Even Raghav, your school also. This question they are asking every paper. Ammonia does not consist of OH minus ions, yet it is considered basic.
Ma'am, can you repeat the question?
Yes, Santosh?
Ma'am, could you repeat the question?
Ammonia does not consist of OH minus ions, yet it is considered as basic. Give reason.
Ma'am, could you repeat the answer?
Write down ammonia. Write down the answer. Ammonia, when dissolved in water, forms NH4OH. Forms NH4OH, which further dissociates to form NH4 plus and OH minus ions. NH4 plus and OH minus ions. It produces OH minus ions in water. It produces OH minus ions in water Therefore considered basic. Therefore considered basic. Okay. Then the same thing, the question can be asked for CO2. Then what you will write? Same thing can be considered in terms of CO2. What can you write the answer? Yes. CO2 is acidic or basic?
Acidic.
Acidic. So what will be the answer then?
CO2, when dissolved in water, reacts with the water to form carbonic acid, which then dissolves to form, dissociates to form H plus ions.
Yes, CO2 when dissolved in water produces carbonic acid and further dissociates to form H plus ions. So due to formation of H plus ions, it is acidic in nature. Okay. Then these questions can be asked. Now further, the common properties of between acids and bases. What are the properties which are common to acids and bases?
They are inflammable.
Ma'am, the corrosive.
And they conduct electricity.
First one is inflammable and corrosive, both of them. Then second one,
They show
both, they show,
their properties, their respective properties only when dissolved in water.
yes, both show their respective acidic as well as basic properties. Only in presence of water. Based on this, question is asked. What is that question? Now you are telling the questions. What are the question asked on this property?
Why do acid
Why do?
Why does not red litmus change color when does not dry litmus paper changes color when it's like
got
when it's near hydrochloric gas,
Hydrogen chloride gas.
hydrogen chloride gas.
Okay, so question here it is, what will happen? Write the question. Name the gas produced. Name the gas produced when sulfuric acid added to sodium chloride or common salt. What will you observe? What will you observe when you test this gas with number one, dry litmus paper, and number two, wet litmus paper? And why? Justify your observations.
Ma'am, can you repeat the last one? Observe when you taste the.
When it is the gas with dry and wet litmus papers. Dry and wet litmus papers.
Thank you, ma'am.
So here first one, which name the gas produced? Which is the gas produced here?
Hydrogen chloride.
Hydrogen chloride, right? The reaction for that. They have asked this question last year. First periodic test only they have asked this question. So reaction is, what is the reaction?
NaCl.
NaCl plus H2SO4
NaCl
gives
plus H2SO4 gives
HCl plus Na2SO4.
So this is gas. HCl gas is formed here. When this dry HCl gas, it is tested with the wet dry litmus paper. What you will observe?
There's no change in the color of the litmus paper.
Okay, there is no change in the color of the litmus paper. And when it is tested with the moist litmus paper, then or wet litmus paper,
It changes the color to red.
it changes the color to red, right? Why?
Because an acid shows its properties only in the presence of water because it dissociates to the H plus ions. And the gas is also dry and also the litmus paper is dry, then there's no water for it to dissociate, so it will not show its acidic property.
So H plus ions are responsible for acidic properties, free H plus ions. So when dry HCl is tested with the dry litmus paper, no dissolution, no dissociation taken place. But when HCl gas is tested with wet litmus paper, immediately HCl gas dissolve in that much amount of water to form free H plus ions, and then show those free H plus ions show acidic properties, and therefore the color of the litmus paper changes from blue to red. It's clear? So you need to mention that is H plus, free H plus ions are responsible for acidic properties. When the litmus paper is dry and the HCl is also dry, so H plus ions are not free. But when the HCl gas is tested with wet litmus paper, HCl dissolves and dissociates to form H plus ions. Due to presence of H plus ions, it will show acidic behavior and therefore change the color of litmus paper from blue to red. Clear? Is the answer clear to you? Justification?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And try to write all informative proper answer. Don't consider that is okay, I know this much only, I will solve this much only. No, that should not be done. You have to try to write proper specific answers. You don't consider that is okay, I know this one, I will write this much only. That should not happen in class 10th. It's clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then one more question is there. Alcohol and glucose, although consist of OH or H hydrogen, but yet not considered as acidic or basic. Give reason. बंद कर दो. नहीं. बंद करो पहले. जाओ. Okay. So alcohol and glucose are although consist of H plus hydrogen, but yet not considered as acidic in nature. Why?
They don't dissociate hydrogen plus ions when they're dissolved in water.
Yes, they do not dissociate to form hydrogen ions But when you write, there is a one proper method. Again, otherwise there should not be a confusion or teacher will start cutting marks for that. When hydrogen ion you are writing, so here write down aqueous or directly write down H3O plus. Any one of this you can consider.
Ma'am, can you repeat the question?
First, what I am explaining to try to understand. When hydrogen ion when you are expressing, you write this one H plus aqueous or directly write H3O plus. This is hydronium ions. Both are same. These both representations are same. In aqueous solution, H plus combines with H2O to form H3O plus. So both are same. Either represent this one or represent this way. Clear? Only use this two representation. Don't use any other. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So alcohol and glucose are not considered as acids because acidic properties. They do not show acidic behavior because they do not dissociate to form H plus or hydronium ions in water. So due to absence of free H plus ions, they do not show any acidic properties. Right? Then third one, both are good conductors of current. Both are good conductors of current. Why they conduct current?
Because they dissociate to form free ions.
You're right. The responsible. Who is responsible for conduction of current?
Electrons, free electrons.
Free H plus.
In solid state, free electrons, but in aqueous or molten state,
Ions.
Yeah.
Ions.
free ions are required. So free ions are responsible for conduction of current in molten or in aqueous state. So when these acids and bases in aqueous solutions dissociates to form the ions, and due to presence of free ions, both of them conduct current. Clear? Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So write down the reason for that. Why are they good conductors of current? So first write down who are responsible. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Then next is dilution part. So dilution of acids or bases. So what precaution has to be taken while diluting an acid and base?
That water should never be added to acids or bases.
So what should be done then?
We have to pour little quantities of acid or base into water slowly.
Oh.
Drop by drop.
Yes. Here,
With
acid,
continuous stirring.
base should be added to water slowly by continuous stirring. So why this precaution has to be taken? The reason?
Because adding of water to acid is highly exothermic, so it can splash out and it's harmful.
It's harmful because the thing is, whenever we do this, when the first case is done, when we add water into acid, the amount of acid is more than water. So therefore, a large amount of heat is produced, and due to which the acid or a base gets converted into vapors and cause the harm to the people standing nearby. But in the second case, what happened due to more amount of water, and we are adding slowly the acid and bases. So so latent heat of vaporization is too much, is too high. So due to that, it will absorb the large amount of heat energy produced. The heat energy produced will be absorbed by water, and it will not allow the acid or base to convert into vapors. So it will not allow the increase in temperature. So due to which the accident can be prevented in case of second case. But in the first case, no. Amount of water is less. So it will not have the property of absorbing heat energy because the amount of water is lesser in quantity. Therefore, it cannot absorb the produced heat energy. So due to that, temperature increases, and due to which acid or base converts into vapors. And then they are vapors, they easily move throughout these area, throughout the space present. They will move freely. The people standing nearby can skin of those people react easily with these vapors of acids or a base and can harm the people. This is more explanation I've told you. You write only simple thing. That is the first when reaction between the dilution of acids or a bases is highly exothermic process. So when we add water to acid or a base, the amount of water being less, the temperature increases very high, due to which acid or base gets converted into vapors and cause the harm to people standing nearby in that room. But in the same case, this temperature is too high, the container may break, spurt out, the solution may spurt out, and the container may break. To avoid this accident, we need to add acid or a base slowly with continuous stirring into water. Okay, so heat is produced, but due to presence of water, the large amount of heat energy will be absorbed by water as well. Therefore, it will not allow the acid or a base to convert into vapors. Okay, what will happen to the concentration if the acid is diluted? Acid is diluted, what will happen to the H plus ion concentration?
Decrease.
Decrease.
Will decrease. And when excess base is added to base,
The concentration OH minus increase.
OH minus concentration will increase. Okay. Then these are the common properties between acids and bases. Then next is chemical properties. Have you written down these parts? These points have you written down?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Reactions between chemical reactions of acids. First one, reaction with metal. What happens when acid reacts with metal? Dilute acid, we are taking the example of dilute acid. Acid reacts with metal. It will form
Salt plus hydrogen gas.
salt plus hydrogen gas is produced. Example,
Ma'am, HCl plus calcium.
HCl plus calcium. It will form calcium chloride plus hydrogen gas is given out. Then HCl
HCl plus
plus
N.
Na. So it will form NaCl plus H2. Then calcium plus sulfuric acid will produce what it will form?
Calcium sulfate.
Calcium sulfate plus hydrogen gas. Then zinc plus hydrochloric acid. It will form
Zinc sulfate. Okay.
sulfate,
Sorry.
zinc chloride. So zinc chloride and the hydrogen gas is formed. Then this is with dilute acids. Dilute acids. What happens with nitric acid?
Water is formed instead of hydrogen gas.
In case of nitric acid, instead of hydrogen, water is formed. Reason?
Ma'am, nitric acid is a good oxidizing agent.
Nitric acid is a good oxidizing agent. It's a good oxidizing agent. It oxidizes evolved hydrogen to form water. It oxidizes the evolved hydrogen to form water and itself get reduced. So it will form actually HNO3 itself. Whenever it is reacts, immediately it will form H2O plus NO2 plus O2. So it will decompose like this. HNO3, whenever it decomposes, when it reacts with metal, it will decompose like this way. It will form water vapors, nitrogen dioxide, and the oxygen gas. And this oxygen gas combines with hydrogen to form water. Yeah. Then the metal with base form salt and water. Sorry, salt and hydrogen gas. Here also hydrogen gas is formed. All the metals react with base. Do
No,
all the
ma'am.
metals react with base?
No, ma'am. Only
Then which
aluminum,
metals?
lead.
Tin.
Aluminium, zinc, and lead reacts with base to form salt and hydrogen gas. So aluminium reacts with NaOH. It will form
Sodium aluminate.
formula NaAlO2 plus hydrogen gas. And even with zinc, it will form
Sodium zinc.
Na2ZnO2 plus hydrogen gas. Sodium zincate is formed. Only these two reactions with NaOH you have to remember. Okay. Write down all these points.
Can you
Done?
Yes, ma'am.
The next is reaction with metal carbonate or metal hydrogen carbonate. Metal carbonate or metal hydrogen carbonate. So in this case, example, acid reacts with this metal carbonate or hydrogen carbonates. It will form, what will it form?
Salt.
Salt plus
Water.
Carbon dioxide plus water.
Salt plus water plus carbon dioxide is formed. Only three examples here to remember, that is sodium carbonate, sodium hydrogen carbonate, and calcium carbonate with HCl. So it will form NaCl plus H2O plus CO2. Sodium bicarbonate reacts with HCl. It will also form the same product, NaCl plus H2O plus CO2. And then it is calcium chloride, CaCl2 plus H2O plus CO2 gas is formed. These are the reactions you have to remember. And the test of carbon dioxide gas. What is the test of carbon dioxide gas?
I'm passing it to calcium hydroxide.
Passing through lime water,
Rainwater turns milky.
it turns milky. Second,
Evolves brisk effervescence.
produce brisk effervescence when evolved. Third,
Extinguishes fire.
Soda. Yeah.
extinguishes fire. Right. So it turns lime water milky, and then when excess carbon dioxide is passed, then it again becomes it disappears. The milkiness disappears. Write the reaction involved. So here, carbon dioxide test. 1 turns lime water milky. Second one extinguishes fire. And produced brisk effervescence. So in that case, the first, when carbon dioxide is passed over flake lime, that's lime water, it turns milky and milkiness disappears when excess CO2 is passed. So reaction for this is, what are the reactions for this equation for this reaction?
CaOH twice plus CO2. CaCO3.
CaCO3 plus H2O, and then if keep on passing CO2. So CO2 still combined with these products, CaCO3 plus H2O, and it forms, what does it will form?
CaHCO3 whole twice.
CaHCO3 whole twice. So this solution is colorless. So therefore milkiness disappears due to excess transfer of carbon dioxide. It's clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Right on. Who don't remember, start remembering. You have to remember these all reactions. Abhijit?
Yes.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, sodium aluminate is in which state?
Solid state. Sodium aluminate, sodium zincate, both are solid. Done? What happened? Have you finished?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
The next is reaction with base.
Yes, ma'am.
Reaction with base. What happens when the acid reacts with base?
Salt is produced.
Salt and water.
Salt and water.
Salt and water is formed. So exactly this is called as
Utilization.
Neutralization. So what exactly neutralization reaction means?
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, when an acid dissolved in water combines with the base dissolved in water, it forms a product which is salt and water. The salt the salt is mostly neutral.
Mostly. Now you are telling this answer, Shubha?
No, I mean it's always neutral.
Always neutral.
Yes, ma'am. I mean depending on the strength of acid and base,
Then why
it's
you are telling that in definition? What's the proper answer? Specific answer. I need. Don't tell me class 7 answer.
Ma'am, when H plus ion of the acid combines with the OH minus ion of the base, it forms water, and this is known as neutralization reaction.
Yes. Water, which is a neutral water. Water is neutral. So H plus ions of acid when combines with OH minus ions of base to form water, which is neutral. So therefore called neutralization reaction. Okay. Examples. Any example you can take? Any acid combines with any base. HCl combines with NaOH, forms NaCl plus H2O. H2SO4 combines with calcium hydroxide. It will form calcium sulfate and water. Even H2CO3 combines with sodium hydroxide. It will form Na2CO3 plus H2O. So these are all acid base, acid base, acid base, acid and base combine. In that H plus ions of acid combines with OH minus ions of base and formation of as water, neutral water is called as neutralization reaction. The base always cannot be, sorry, the salt produced will not be always neutral. It is either acidic or basic or neutral depending on the strength of acid or a base combined in neutralization reaction, combined with base or acid. Okay. And then the last reaction, acid with metal oxide. Acid combines with metal oxide to form salt and water again. The formation of water indicates that H plus ions came from acid, but to form the water, OH minus ions are needed. So OH minus ions are given by this metal oxide, and therefore metal oxides are considered basic in nature. Metal oxides are considered basic because they are providing OH minus ions. That's the reason these OH minus ions are combining with H plus ions to form water.
So if they ask why metal oxides are basic, we give this equation and
Yeah, you have to write this equation. So when metal oxides reacts with acid, the formation of water indicates that H plus ion comes from acid, but OH minus ions, metal oxides are producing OH minus ions. So therefore, metal oxides are considered as basic in nature. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This is the chemical properties. So these are the 4 chemical properties. No any other properties you are supposed to learn in this chapter. Now the next part is acid-base indicators. So what are acid-base indicators?
And these are substances which change their color or smell when come in contact with acids or bases.
Yes, right. There are some chemicals which comes in contact with acid or a base, shows different color or shows different odor. By that color change or specific color change or by specific odor change, the acids and bases have been tested. So those chemicals are called as acid base indicators. So in that the natural indicators,
Litmus and
litmus. Make the table and write down all those again. Litmus color change in acid is
Red.
red and in base is
blue.
Blue.
blue. Then next is turmeric.
Methyl orange.
With turmeric, what is the color change?
Turns red when it's in a base, and there's no color change when it reacts with acid.
Yes, when turmeric tested with acid, there is no change. But when tested with base, it turns red. Next is methyl orange.
Ma'am, it's red in acid
Yes.
and
And base.
Yellow in
orange
base.
and
Yellow
yellow in
in
base.
base. Yes, red in acid and yellow is in base. And then the last one, phenolphthalein.
Pink in base and
Pink in base
no
and
colorless.
So when phenolphthalein is tested with the acid, there is no change in the phenolphthalein solution or the acidic solution. It will remain colorless. But as we drop when we use phenolphthalein to acid, the acid there is no change, but on bases it turns
Pink.
pink in color, right? And methyl orange, it is red and yellow. Phenolphthalein is colorless and pink. Then these will only tell us the presence of acids and bases. What about the strength? The strength is counted by
pH. Universal indicator.
universal indicator. Universal indicators are
They are the mixture of a number of indicators.
yes, mixture of different types of indicators have been mixed together, so which give different color with different strengths of the acids and bases. So that is one of the indicator is pH indicators. So in the pH scale has been drawn. The pH scale, in the pH scale, values range from
0 to 14.
0 to 14. So then this is neutral solution, the range of pH is, for neutral solution pH range
7.
7. pH is equal to 7. The solution is neutral. If pH less than 7,
Acidic.
the solutions are acidic. And pH greater than 7,
Basic.
basic. And then after 7, as we go upward, the basicity increases. And below 7, if you go till 0, the acidity increases. Below 7, the acidic characters goes on increasing. And above 7, the basic character slowly goes on increasing. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, but there are acids which have pH less than 0. Ma'am.
pH less than 0 is not there. Which have less than 0? 0 is the least value.
Ma'am, it's like minus 33 fluoroantimonic acid.
Minus 33. The concentration may be there, but minus 33 pH value, that is the different indicators. So pH, normal general pH is from 0 to 14 only. So that indicators is different then.
Ma'am, will they ask the
pH scale is from 0 to 14 only. That is different, I think, so indicators, this one, Ronak.
Yes, ma'am, like they are showing its pH, but like it's like they have somehow expanded it to more than like less
That
than 0.
value may be different because it is calculation. pH part is done by calculation part. That is logarithmic calculation we are doing it for pH. When that pH, it's not it's not lesser or greater than any 0 to 14. Apart from 0 to 14, it's not there. It may be the difference for scale. Any indicator is from 1 to 14 only. It's not other than that. You have to do that calculation in class 12 when you learn logs. Right now you don't have logs, so they have removed. Earlier it was there. Before 2010, the logarithmic calculations you had, because log was included in class 9. Okay. And practical applications? Practical application of knowing pH.
Medicine.
Antacids. Indigestion process. The solution of indigestion process, we got to know. The soil part, we got to know. The farmers get relieved by knowing the pH values. They got to know the proper reason why their crops are not growing properly. Tooth decay reason for the tooth decay, we got to know. The self-defense by the animals and plants, what they are doing. So why we got the irritation and how to get the relief from that irritation, we got to know by knowing pH value. Okay, so these are all parts. We will take it tomorrow again. And then the remaining salt parts we will complete tomorrow. Okay. So science students can leave, and maths, that's now. Start maths now.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.